Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Pros and Politics Podcast, where we are polished and poised for greatness and impact. My name is Kahala, and I'm your host. I'm so happy you chose to join us today as we talk about some job things today. So as we all know, or we should, right now, unemployment in the United States is at an all-time low. Well, we thank President Biden and our wonderful Vice President Kamala Harris for that, but we also know that every day, we got to get up and go to work, whether we're entrepreneurs or whether we go to a 9-to-5 or whether we're doing both. But we want to learn and know how to get those jobs, how to keep those jobs as we get this paper, stack it, save it, and expand it. So today we have with us a wonderful special guest, an HR specialist out here doing all the things in employment. Wonderful and amazing Tyra Duren.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
To have you here today. So we've been trying to get Mrs. Duren on here, and so schedules finally came together. You were just doing amazing things, you and your husband, and we're just so happy to have you with us.
Thank you. I'm so glad that the schedules aligned.
Yes.
It's just awesome.
It is.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Well, please tell us all about yourself.
Yes.
And all the things that you're doing in terms of human resources and how you can help us today.
Yes, absolutely. So I I'm going on 10 years in the HR field now. I'm the director of talent for Lawrence Group, New and Found, and Integrate Construction. It's a 3-business unit consortium. People may know us by City Foundry in St. Louis. That's a New and Found company that was designed by Lawrence Group Architecture and built by Integrate Construction. SSM Hospital, the renovation of Union Station and the redesign of Union Station is all our enterprise. So I have been with them a little over a year running their people and culture, everything people and culture for the enterprise, and I just love it. I've been in HR, benefits, employment, all of that. Just name it. I've been doing it for about the last 10 years. I'm a proud graduate of the Jackson State University in Jackson, Mississippi. And I went on and got 2 masters from Webster University here in St. Louis in HR. So I'm just really excited. I'm a wife of 5 years. My husband is amazing. And most of all, I'm a child of God. So just super excited to be here. I'm just super blessed to be where I am. And my whole philosophy is if I can't help somebody else, then what am I doing?
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
That's what it's all about. And that's really why I chose HR.
Well, we're so happy that you're here, and we're so happy about everything that's going on in your career and your life. And again, just happy that you're here because we want to have a conversation and get some understanding just about what's going on in the market, just about the importance of cover letters and resumes, the importance of no calling, no showing, as we were talking about earlier, and dressing the part for an opportunity. I know in my time as the clerk, I did hundreds of interviews, and I was very happy to say that I had hired over 150 people in my county, because of course we had a residency requirement, with stable, safe employment, and just to be able to meet those people and give them opportunities. And we want everybody to have opportunities like that. And I saw a lot, was my point, in those hundreds of interviews, some good things and some not so good things. And we don't want to do that, right? We want to be the candidate that everybody is looking for and can go in and demand those salaries and those benefits or those perks. And that's what we want. We want people thriving here on this platform.
Absolutely.
So just tell us, let's just start wherever you want to start.
Absolutely. Here's the thing, right? When we look for positions, number one, the biggest thing that I've seen over the course of my career, especially when you're applying for positions out of your city or state, is be serious about the positions that you're applying for. I would have people from other states apply for jobs and say, oh, well, I didn't think you were going to actually call me. Come on. You have got to plan. You are making a life decision. This is where you're going to spend majority of your time. You're going to spend majority of your time, really more time with this position than with your own family.
Absolutely.
8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours a day, depending on how, the
What you
position
got
itself
going on.
and what you got going on. So you have to be serious about the positions that you're applying for. The other things that I'm seeing in resumes is that these 3, 4, 5 pages, no recruiter is looking at.
No.
Even if you are a VP level.
No.
10 years, 1 page. Really, 2 pages? Okay, I got you. I'm not looking at anything past 2 pages.
Okay.
The average recruiter, 3 to 5 seconds per resume. 3 to 5 seconds. You have to sell me in 3 to 5 seconds. Think about it. Pre-pandemic, you had about 300 to 400 to 500 applicants and 1 recruiter looking at the job. And that recruiter may have 5, 6, 7 other jobs that they're trying to fill. They don't have the time to go through each and every applicant and look at 3, 4, 5 pages. So they have to quickly look. Number 1, do you meet the basic qualifications for this job? If it requires a certain degree, do you have that? Can I locate it on your resume quickly? I need to be able to do it quickly. These paragraphs, and I have to look through. Look, I'm
Get somebody else to do it.
Get somebody else to do it. I'm not looking through all of this. And then pictures. If it's not media or journalism, eliminate the pictures. Because even though we live in a society that we hope that we are learning about diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? We hope that we are being progressive. If I look at your picture, you're at risk of any type of elimination based on discrimination. Oh, this is a woman? Oh, this is a person of color. Oh, what does it look like they're from? I'm moving it. Eliminate the picture, right? Just get to the business. Unless it's a media position and you have to be in front of a camera, eliminate the picture. Give me the boring, basic banker's resume is what I call it. It's black and white. It's not fancy, but it gets the job done and gets you to those interviews quickly. So I'd say that's the first rule of thumb. Keep the resume short. Give me highlights. Don't copy and paste your job description from what you applied for 5 years ago when you first applied for your job. I know that a customer service agent answers the phone, but what sales have you made? How did you surpass your goals? I want to know the results. What set you apart from the 4 or 5 other people that had your position? What did you do different? What did you implement? Those are the types of highlights that we want to see before you even come to the interview. So once we move on to the interview, come prepared. Really, the job description is your cheat sheet. If you apply for a job and you see it's maybe 2 or 3 things on there that you haven't done before, you're not quite sure, just go ahead and research some of those things and say, hey, I know I haven't done this. However, this is what I do know about it. And you come prepared in that way. So those are just some quick tips that people can learn from.
So going back to the cover letter and the resume, that is so important. That is so important because like you said, that is what we always talk about, first impressions. So obviously we have our own first impressions in day-to-day life, but when you're trying to get a job, 9.9 times out of 10, that first impression is going to be that cover letter and or that resume, right? So you want to make sure, like you said, that, so as an attorney, things like grammar and punctuation and capitalization and just that's a thing for me. Now, what did you say when you introduce yourself to us? You're a woman of God. So I am not as hard-nosed as some people I know or whatever that will just immediately throw something in the trash. I'm like, okay, this person really needs a job. They probably got kids. So I'm doing all that extra. But like you said, everybody ain't gonna do that extra, right?
Everybody's not gonna do it.
So make sure that the font is consistent. Make sure that the email address and phone number that you provide
works.
Is not disconnected. It's not gonna go to spam. The mailbox isn't full. When I tell you the hundreds of interviews that I'm like, Lord, somebody out here trying to give you a job and you are just messy.
Sending us the voicemail, not returning the phone call. You know you're applying for jobs. You know you're applying for jobs.
Can you please tell your references that somebody might be calling?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And here's the thing. have somebody, if you have a recruiter friend, if you have somebody that's an HR coordinator that looks at resumes all the time, reach out to them.
Absolutely.
Have them look at it. The biggest frustration I see is these people that say, I do resumes. I write resumes. And I look at it and say,
For who? For what?
For who? Like, this is not, just because they say that they write resumes, they don't really know what a recruiter is looking for. They don't know what the HR person is looking for. So make sure that you get some of those frontline people that do it for a living.
Absolutely.
To be able to review it for you. Take your address off of the resume. They don't need your full address.
No more address.
Just say Greater St. Louis or Greater Dallas or Fort Worth, whatever it may be. Because number one, people are crazy. I've had people send things to people's homes because their resume is on Indeed and you can see their address. So take it off of there. The other thing is, once again, bias. People will Google your address.
If it says East St. Louis.
If it says East St. Louis, I had a person that had been trying to get into an architecture firm that said, I can't get in there because my address says East St. Louis. Take it off. Tell them you live in Greater St. Louis area. That's all they need to know.
Absolutely. And the shame of somebody who would even make such a call or consideration.
Right. Exactly.
So then there was the interview that you discussed. A Zoom interview is still an interview.
Yes.
So 2020, everything's shutting down. But the Illinois Supreme Court said, but let me tell you what's not shutting down.
Yes.
The judicial system.
Right.
So there were the wonderful essential workers of medical field and the grocery stores and the restaurants. But then my staff and every other judicial staff pretty much became essential workers as well. So I'm still having to hire, still having to do all of that, right? And folks literally would show up on my screen, wrinkled.
Yes.
Are you in your pajamas?
Yes.
Did you not comb your hair? Just because you did not leave your home, get in your car, drive down to downtown Belleville and sit in front of me in my office because we can't, does not mean that this is not an interview.
Exactly.
Please do not wear the marijuana cannabis printed hoodie. I used to tell people that all the time. I used to go and do, like, it was called Justice 101 at churches and things when I was the clerk. And I'd be like, just don't wear that. You have a marijuana charge. Please don't wear that to court.
Right.
Okay? And don't smell like it either. So my thing is this. That's before it was legal. Okay? That's before cannabis was legal. But I need you to still dress the part, whether you're in person, whether you're on Zoom. I need you to brush your teeth and comb your hair and be presentable, because no matter what the position is, there's a level in most circumstances, and it's completely legal, that there still has to be a measure of something that goes on with your person that's professional.
Exactly. And
so,
prep.
Please help us.
And prep.
Help you.
The thing is, exactly. Help us help you. And preparation is everything. It's nothing like getting a text 7 minutes after your interview started. Oh, the download link is it? Wait, we set up this interview 2 weeks ago and you are just now trying to download Teams, or you are just now trying to download the Zoom update. Log in the hour before. Make sure it's set up and working, and then come back to it. Make sure you prep. Now, I get it. Some things that you just can't control. When technology works, is great. When it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm flexible. But if you tell me something like the download isn't working, that says that no preparation went into that. So yes, Zoom is still a Zoom. We can be lenient. I get it. The dog is not as quiet as you.
Exactly. If you were here.
I get it. But yes, put the same effort into it that you would any other time. That is one of the biggest frustrations with, just doing virtual interviews. So yes, I absolutely agree. I've seen some stuff.
And I also agree with you wholeheartely on prepping, knowing what it is you're applying for. So one of my first questions was, so do you know what we do here at the circuit clerk's office? Because it was a really big job, even for the deputies. And I don't, because you elections, and That will be the county clerk. His name is Tom Holbrook. This is the circuit clerk's office. Oh, well, you know what? I honestly don't know. And so I probably was wrong for saying it. But I would be like, oh, well, that's so unfortunate because, we could be throwing bodies out of windows here.
It's the truth. You don't know what you're applying for.
And so, but I'm gone and, I got, but I'm like, literally, I'm taking my time. You're taking your time and you're applying for a position and you don't even know what we do. So then you don't know if this is what you want to do.
Right.
Okay, let's give you the grace first.
Exactly.
Then you don't even know if it's something you can do.
Exactly.
Right. And everybody's wasting everybody's time at this point when there is a man or woman coming behind you that did do the research, that really does want to be here, really does want to do the service and the work. But I'm talking to you. But again, there's the grace.
It's nothing wrong with, I've ended interviews early. If I get to question 3 and I feel like you are completely out of space and have no clue where you are, I will stop wasting each other's time. I have other stuff to do. I have other things to get to. You have other things to get to. Google is your friend. Absolutely. If I feel like you didn't even bother to Google.
Didn't even bother.
I'm not going to waste our time. That is a disservice to yourself. Not even the company that you're applying for. It's a disservice to yourself. Do that pre-research to see, did they even have the philosophy that I have in life? What if their motto is something that's completely opposite of how I live? And you haven't done that research.
We could be throwing people out of windows. You might not be into throwing people out of windows. Like, that might be a problem for you morally. But I said, okay, well, this is what we do. And I would continue. Like I said, of course, there were those that I'm just like, or they would stop it. Like, oh, well, no, but that was very rare. Or like you said, you would just graciously, well, I'm going to just tap out real quick. Oh, thank you so much for your time today. Like, that was great. And, it'll be this date next week or 2 weeks that I will make the final call on who the individual who will get this position will be. And let's just move on.
Let's just move on.
Let's just move on. So you said it was really like the service and wanting to go into human resources. So is it everything that you thought it would be?
It is. It is.
As a woman, as a Black woman.
The funny thing is, Kyla, I wanted to be an attorney.
Okay.
I wanted to be an attorney.
I can see that. And it's not too late.
I wanted to be an attorney. Well, I thought I wanted to be an attorney. So when I was older, my mom used to really get on me because I used to get in trouble for fighting other people's battles.
Okay.
She's like, that's not even your fight. Why are you in trouble at school? For fighting them? That wasn't even any of your business. That was my main problem is fighting the bullies. I didn't do that with people. So when I grew up, lawyer got put in my head. I was like, okay, I can fight for other people. Then getting more into it and doing the SLUE pre-law program, I'm like, oh, this is more briefs. Like, I want to fight for the people all the time. How does that look? I don't want to do this. And so I was really at a distraught moment in my life at that point in time. I was like, well, if I'm not going to be an attorney, my mom was like, well, look into HR. You got to know legal stuff. Most HR people even report into legal departments.
Okay.
And so I looked into it, joined the master's program and loved it. I said, this is what I'm talking about. This is how I make a direct impact.
Absolutely.
In the job force. Right now, especially at this time, in corporate America, we have problems with getting people with disabilities, LGBTQ plus, minorities, women in spaces that were predominantly white male dominated, white cisgendered male dominated. So I love it because now I sit in a spot that I can make sure that barriers are broken for people who have problems breaking them for themselves.
Exactly.
So how many people are we getting to the seat? If I'm looking around and say, I'm looking at leadership, I'm looking at management positions, we don't have any people of color in management. Where are the women in management? I can ask those questions and put policies and procedures in place to make sure that we diversify, and not only diversify, create an inclusive environment so that we're not a rotating door. So I love it because I said, this is the fight. This is the other fight that I'm able to do every day. And I had a mentor tell me one time, And she was so right. She said, if you're not willing to lose your job for what is right, you should not be in HR. You should not be in HR because we put our jobs on the line every day. You think sitting in front of a senior executive and telling him his company is not diverse and what he needs to do with his company is a safe space?
Right, it's an easy thing to do.
You're going to sit up here and tell this millionaire, this is what you need to do. We don't have enough Black and brown people. We don't have enough this. And that's an easy conversation.
It's not.
Absolutely not. So you have to be willing to be in the line of fire and fight. But it's an adrenaline rush for me. I'm okay with that. So I really enjoy that piece to look around and see that in the last 12 months, 62% of our hiring has been diverse. That's the stuff that says, you know what? I'm in the right place. I'm in the right place.
I'm trying not to get misty eyed.
Yes.
I'm sorry. It's amazing the things on this platform that some stuff you would think you get misty eyed over and then others you don't. Because everything, I ain't know whether to take my shoe off and throw it or what. Because she preaches too, by the way. Okay, she's a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Yes.
But everything you said just resonated with me. Like my baby was leaping, like everything, because one, like I said, I just love you. Two, I just love your spirit. And you are that's one of the things that always gravitated me to you. Because one day I just came up to her and was like, why are you so fine? Why? Like, we was at chapter meeting. Folks like, how is this even relevant to what you know? Because she is an Alpha Kappa Alpha woman. We left all that out.
Yes, but I mean, they probably could tell.
And attorney Marsha Bell, who's been on Cross the Politics Spot. This is her line sister.
Yes.
Okay, from the Jackson State. But I digress. Okay, we're going back. So, just having been 2% of Black women are lawyers in the United States of America. 3% are Black men. But we unfortunately, and everything we can do to change that, we're trying. We are just in huge numbers in the system. CASA came on. One of the directors for CASA came on, Shalene, and talked about, how 70% of the children in that CASA system here in St. Louis are children of color. And just so many, like you said, barriers and so many blockages and so much opposition and so little representation.
Yeah.
And for you to be in that space to say, hey, sir, ma'am, people, it's really not colorful in this space. It's really not diverse in this space. It's very gender heavy in the traditional way. And we need to do something about that in 2022, 2023 and moving forward.
Absolutely.
And for you to have the Godfidence within you to be like, and I'm gonna walk in here today and I'm gonna look good and I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna tell this man, I'm cross my leg. And I'm going to sit my red nails. Because again, it's also about, and I am training young Black female lawyers to be their authentic selves.
Right.
To wear your hair the way you want to. Crown act in your state or not.
And change it every week if you want to.
I had a bob, and you know that, last week. And I walked up after vacation on my job, and I know they was like, wait, her hair was short last week. And I love red. Yes. Red lipstick, red clothing. It's my signature color. And I had a young Black woman in state government was like, you wear red lipstick? Yeah. Every day and twice on Sunday if I feel like it. And in court and wherever. Like, we have gravitated. And that's one of the reasons that I love our Lieutenant Governor, Juliana Stratton, is she is so her authentic self, right? And so she gives that vibe to allow people, especially women of color, to just be who you are.
Right.
And for you to be who you are and to sit in that space and say, I'm going to be me. And me and Jesus, we going to go in here and we are going to get all the things together because they should have always been together.
Yes. And if you are a person in a leadership role, do it in the interview. Me being this did not surprise them. In my interview, I said, I have a question. You have no people of color in your senior leadership on your website. Is there a reason? What's the What's the
reason?
response for that? And they said, oh no, it's a problem. We have to fix it. I said, okay, if you truly want me to fix it, I can come in and fix it. I said, I have to see if it's a diversity problem or an inclusion problem. If it's diversity is easy.
That's easy. That's the easy one.
That's the easy one. Now, if it's inclusivity, we have some work to do. I'm not hiring diverse candidates just to come in and feel uncomfortable. But if I find that it's a diversity issue, that's fine. We can do that. However, if you want me to check a box, I am not your candidate. I don't do check boxes. I come in and do real work. So if you want to put me in a box, I would like to respectfully tell you to move on to another candidate. So when they called me 30 minutes after my interview and got
she shut it down, baby. She shut it down.
When I come into meetings now and I'm like, and they're like, okay, Tyra, we get it. It's consistent. I didn't come in, I didn't put on a facade. I didn't fool you. I didn't sit nice and say, no, I'll do whatever you want. No, I am a change agent. And I mean that. So if you don't want real change in your organization, don't hire me.
Get somebody else to do it.
Get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else. When you get to a certain age and a part of your career, you do not have time to play games. You have to be comfortable in doing what you feel like you are called to do. And so now I have the full support of my senior leadership. I'm like, we need to do an HBCU connection. They're like, okay, how much you need? Whatever we need.
And we're going straight to Jackson State first.
And we're going straight to Jackson State. Just know that's what we're doing. So that's where it comes from, right? From the beginning. Don't ease into it. Just be fierce from the beginning and say that if I'm going to be in this leadership role, if I'm going to be in this role, how do you value diversity, equity, inclusion? What are your policies? What are your real goals that you're doing? And don't give me a frou-frou answer. And if you don't have any, say it. I tell my senior leaders, say it. Say you're not diverse.
Right.
Get on top of it and say, you know what? Nope, that's a problem. We're on it. This is what we're doing. And then we deliver. And there's nothing like owning it and then delivering.
Absolutely.
So that's why I would give anybody, you don't have to be in HR, whether you're in politics, whether you're in government, whether you're in corporate America, whether you are in fast food, it does not matter.
It doesn't.
Use your platform. Use that and say, no, we're going to do something different with me in this position.
And so I don't know if it's a Jackson State thing. I don't know if it's, what was the name of y'all line?
New Pearl
Because Marche, am I right, Chris?
New Pearl
Marche got that same attitude. And I'm like, was it contagious? Like, so my thing, and I told her in our episode, and Jocelyn agreed, I love the ownership at the age that you all are now. Now, I have that same attitude. I got that same energy, but it took time, right? And Jocelyn and I agreed, girl, if we had that energy when we was they age, baby, where would we be now? And so I love, and that's why I don't want to say I stay on, but the young women, which are mainly young female attorneys that I mentor, I need you to have that energy now. Like, don't waste your time. Don't waste your talent. Money is something you can always get back, but your time, never. Ever. Right? Ever. And so don't waste your own time. Don't let anybody else waste your time. And what did you say? Know your worth. And then walk into the room. My new favorite thing in 2023 is, girl, you better walk in that room like God sent you there.
Okay.
Like he sent you there. So you walk in that interview like he sent you there.
Exactly.
But faith without works is dead.
Right.
So he can open the door, and that's why we're here today. He can open the door, but if you're not properly dressed, if you're not properly groomed, if your resume is 8 pages, if your cover letter has 1,000 typos, if you haven't done the work, if you're going to sit there and say, diversity who? DEO? Yes. No. Okay.
So,
oh
my goodness.
We want to be able to be confident. And what do we say? Polished and poised.
Polished and poised. Because you can be yourself and be polished.
Absolutely.
I'm saying it again. You can be yourself and be polished.
Absolutely.
There is nothing wrong with being cute, putting on your makeup and putting on your eyelashes. I'm telling you right now, in corporate America, you come in with those butterfly eyelashes, It is good. The reality is, it is going to cause some issues with people taking you seriously.
It is.
It is. It's going to cause some issues with me as a Black woman taking you seriously.
And dude, you can hop in the comments with positivity, but don't hop. Absolutely.
It's just honest. And here's the thing. Great. You can get funky on the weekend with your hair and do all that stuff. Now, we still have to keep it professional. Absolutely. We do. And that's the reality of it. And yes, you can still be your authentic self.
Absolutely.
With a understanding of where you are. You can do both. I got my little blonde streaks. I do. But it is still an understanding of where I am.
Absolutely.
Right? It's just putting things in context is what it is. Nobody's saying you have to lay down who you naturally are. Nobody is saying that you have to completely lose yourself in order to come to work. That's absolutely not what I'm saying. It's putting yourself in context.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to show up to a fire without a fire suit.
Absolutely.
I'm going to come prepared for where I am.
For the fight I'm fighting.
For the fight that I'm fighting. So if this is going to take away from the fight, if me having pink, blue, and purple hair is going to take away from the fight, then I'm just not going to do it.
Not today, right?
Not today. It's context.
And it's, like you said, you can look at it in any setting, right? Whether you are at the grocery store and you come in to Target for one thing and you dropping everything because you didn't get your cart. But for me, I love, like I said, I love red suits and shoes and I love whatever. But if it's jury trial, and I understand that depending on what county or whatever the situation may be, the goal, the end game. See, people so busy worried about the short game, and the short game is what keeps you stuck.
Right.
The long game. So do I want my client to be found not guilty? Do I want to make sure that the state comes and does their job today because it's their burden?
Right.
And I don't want to distract from what I believe to be the innocence or whatever my client because I'm somewhere and they might not do pink, purple, and blue hair.
Exactly.
They too busy looking at my shit like, oh, I love her. Now, they might love them, but they didn't hear my closing statement because so again, it's not, I can go home and I can go out to dinner and do whatever I want to do and throw on some heels and some knee boots or whatever the situation may be. But again, it's about context.
Exactly.
And it's about looking at the perspectives of others, whether they're right or wrong. Yes. See, so many people, and I tell my oldest son this because it's most relevant to him. Like, there are conversations that I don't want to have with you. I wish I didn't have to have the what to do or don't do when you get pulled over. I wish I didn't have to have this or that conversation, but I have to live in my reality and work to change the things that I don't like.
That's it.
But today, it's still what I don't like. And for your benefit, for your safety, for your edification, I have to make sure that I'm still dealing with the things and talking about the things. So, I may wish I could walk in there with a bright red suit and some knee boots. Probably wouldn't even do that outside. But still, you get what I'm saying. Yes. But what I'm saying is I have to live with the realities of life. And what did we say? And work daily.
Right.
To sit in that boardroom and be like, but I don't like it, so we gonna change.
Right. But here's where we are. So let's fight where we are in context. Exactly. That's awesome.
Exactly. So what, as we get ready to close, what do you want us to know? Like today, whether we're talking St. Louis Metro or whether we're talking the United States, what do you want us doing? Not doing, and then we want to close talking about the wonderful help that you provide privately.
Yes, absolutely. I will say they can't do anything but say no. They can't do anything but say no.
I love it.
Come to the interview your authentic self. They can't do nothing but say no. Apply for the job that you know you're not qualified for. They can't do nothing but say no. All you can do, ask for the raise. They can't do nothing but say no. Ask for the promotion. Ask for the team that you need because you are doing all these other jobs. Ask for it. Ask for it. They can't do anything but say no. That's it. Wherever it comes to, whatever portion of your career, if you're trying to make a complete industry switch, whatever, do it. Do it. And when you look back over your life, you'll see that, you know what, at least I asked, or at least I tried. All they could do was say no. And I promise you, you'll get more yeses than you will no. You get more yeses than anything. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So take the shots. That's what I would leave us with.
Oh my goodness. This girl done summed up the whole episode in the final moment. So you have a business.
Yes.
And we love Black business. We love Black woman-owned business here at Present Politics Podcast. So tell us all about your business and how to reach you so we can get further help with the things.
Yes, absolutely. I started Tyra's Tips. In the pandemic, Tyra Tips LLC, we offer resume services, career coaching. I do coaching on your upcoming interview. We do mock interviews and walkthroughs, what you're doing, what you should be doing and saying. I even do consulting for companies. So some companies have reached out to me to consult with their employee handbooks, organizing their overall HR departments, putting in place different policies and procedures that they should be doing as small businesses. So I do it all. Anything related to HR that I do during my day-to-day is available through Tyra's Tips. And you can find us on Facebook, just Tyra's with that apostrophe S and Tips. So it's exciting.
Y'all better go in there right now and like and follow Tyra's Tips and reach out. Again, that's why we are here. Like the whole reason that God gave me this platform was to polish us and poise us.
Yes.
So no matter what it is, the pearls of knowledge, because there's so much that we still need to do and learn. And then the political information, not misinformation. But it's episodes like this today that I absolutely love, to be able to talk through some things in a manner that's like having a conversation with your girlfriend, but it's very relevant, right?
Yes.
And somebody somewhere is going to see. And what did you say? If I can help somebody along the way. So if one person is able to, what did you say? All they can do is say no. You know what? I'm going to take what she said. All they can do is say no.
All they can do
and
is
then
say
walk
no.
in there on Monday morning.
Yes.
And get a yes. You're going to get a yes.
You're going to get a yes.
It's not going to be a no. It's not going to be a no.
Your job description has changed since you started, honey. Go ask for more money. They added more duties and they did add more money. So go ask for your money.
So I just love you, and I am so happy, like I said, and excited about everything that's going on in your life. And we are going to like, love, follow, and share Tyra's Tips. And again, please reach out to her. Thank you so much for coming on. You're going to have to come back. Like, we're going to have to quarterly do some Tyra's
let's
Tips
do it.
or something.
Let's
That's what
do
we're going to
it.
have to do.
Yes,
we love
absolutely.
it. We love it. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
She's so fine. And thank you for tuning in today to Pros in Politics Podcast, where we are polished and poised for greatness and impact. Thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again next week. Thank you. Please, don't forget to like, love, share, and subscribe. Take care.